Back to the channel. In searching for a load that the Remington 870 buddy gun that I have likes, it's kind of my backup shotgun. I'm trying out a new load today. This is Hevi-X STRUT from Environmental. This is kind of an interesting turkey load. At first glance it looked a little more like a waterfowl load to me. It only has an 1.5 ounce shot charge of 5 and 6 shot. Now the 5 and 6 shot are actually made out of different things. On the front of the box here it says Hevi-Shot X Tungsten, deadlier at distance. So if you're just reading this box and you're used to seeing TSS on the shelves, you might think this is a TSS shell, but it's not. This box came in at about $26 for 5 shots, so it's about a little more than $5 a shot, which is pretty expensive for non-TSS, but it is not lead. It is 2 different steel blends. I wrote down some notes here, and I got this right off of the Hevi-Shot website in their description of this load. This load has 75% number 5 shot, which is their heavier than steel shot called Hevi-X, which they use in a lot of their waterfowl loads. It is 10.1 grams per cc. That's in comparison to lead, which is 11.3 grams per cc typically. So it's lighter than lead, but it's heavier than steel. I think steel comes in around 9, but I'm not positive on that. So 75% of what's in this 1.5 ounce payload is the Hevi-X shot. And the next 25% is number 6 shot, which is tungsten shot. And that's how they can say this is a tungsten shell. Now that is not TSS, which is a tungsten alloy. This is tungsten shot, which is different, but I know that's a little confusing. This shot only comes in at 12.0 grams per cc, whereas TSS comes in about 18.1 grams per cc. So it is heavier than lead, but it is definitely not TSS. So don't think this is a TSS loaded shell. It's quite a bit different. Now you guys are going to see a couple of patterns that I shot. So I'll take you outside, show you the shots. This is from the Remington 870, which has an 18.5 inch barrel. It's a Carlson's chrome line barrel. The first shot I used my 660 Carlson's turkey choke, and the second shot I used my 690 Pattern Master Black Mamba. So I wanted to see, you know, tight constriction versus loose constriction. What does this shell like? So check out the shots. The bead was right here. The majority of my pattern is right here. There's quite a few pellets right here from that load. And that's the 18.5 inch chrome line barrel. It's a Carlson's barrel, and the Carlson's 660 turkey choke. All right, 40 yards. This time with the Pattern Master Black Mamba in the Remington 870. This is a 690 constriction, whereas the other choke was a 660. And we're still shooting the Hevi-X STRUT from Hevi. These pack a wallop going over 1,400 feet per second, even with just an 1.5 ounce payload. You can see it knocks the gun open. It's done this both times and ejects the shell. It's kind of a semi-automatic. All right, here it is. That may be difficult to see on camera, but we'll go over it in the house. It's definitely this side. You may be able to see better. Right where I was aiming, pretty well centered. Maybe just a hair low, because I think I had the front sight right about here. Having said that, if there was a turkey head here, it would be dead. There's a good little cluster of pellets right there. There's a pretty big hole here. And another one here and here, down here. This is not a great pattern. I'm not very impressed with these shells. I'm trying to remind myself it's only 1.5 ounce payload. I would like to see this 1.75 ounces or maybe 2 ounces, and it might be acceptable, but at 40 yards, this pattern is really stretching the limits of what is an ethical, lethal pattern. We'll count up the 10-inch circle and we'll go over the rest of that inside. The tighter constriction choke that I first shot with was the 660 Carlson's turkey choke. Within this 10-inch circle, you can see I drew 10 there, or 2 circles there. The first was 72 pellets and the second was 73 pellets. And that's right in where I was aiming, as well as focusing on the most dense part of that pattern. So 73 pellets in a 10-inch circle at 40 yards. Now let's take a look at the Black Mamba choke and see what it produced. Okay, here you go. This is my 10-inch circle, and this is the back of it. It may show up a little bit better. This was worse than the initial pattern was. I only got 57 hits at 40 yards in a 10-inch circle. They're pretty evenly spaced, but there's a few large holes in there that you could definitely fit a turkey's head and neck area, and you'd end up missing that bird or hitting him in a non-vital way, maybe a few through the skin of his neck or through the front of his beak, but nothing that's going to kill him on the spot and make sure that you have an ethical harvest. So this load was pretty disappointing for me. Shooting it through both of these chokes, it really didn't produce the numbers that I want to see to be confident out till 40 yards. At 30 and 35 yards, I'd be pretty confident with that, but I don't feel like being limited to 30 or 35 yards, I'm really getting what I pay for at $5 a shot. Yes, it's only 1.5 ounce payload, and it's going quite fast at 1,450 feet per second, so it's delivering a lot of energy. But if this shell is marketed deadlier at distance, I want to at least have the industry standard distance of 40 yards. In comparison with much less expensive shells like Longbeard XR, even the Federal Grand Slams were producing better patterns than this. This will not be the load that I choose to hunt with this spring. As always, thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think of this video, the type of content I'm producing, and what you'd like to see in the future. Drop a comment in the video feed below. Please like the video and consider subscribing to keep up with me throughout my 2022 turkey season. Thanks for watching. God bless.